So essentially there's 4 categories to a successful business. There's the environment, your environment. Then there is the structural components. So for example, learning about marketing, learning about sales, learning about coaching, learning about speaking. And it takes some time to learn those skills, and it's not a race. You take your time and be on the journey that you're on. And then there's the implementation, which is how much of that are you actually doing? When are you doing it? How often are you doing it? What do you bring to the actions? And then the last element, which is people, is what mentors are you using, right? Who do you have around you that's supporting you and championing you and helping you move forward, or maybe holding you back, or you're allowing them to hold you back, or propelling you forward to make more of an impact? And so they're the 4 categories. We'll unpack that in a lot of detail on the event when we hang out. Let's talk a little bit about the top one, which is the environment. One of the things that I see a lot of people get wrong inside their first years especially is they put too much pressure on themselves. And they've got some older patterns from their past that are still running out and maybe driving them unconsciously. Patterns like you've got to push harder, you've got to go further, you're always behind. You know, sometimes I speak to people and I say, "How you doing?" And they go, "Oh, I'm not as far as long as I'd like to be." And for most people, when they tell me that, I think that's a pattern. It's a story that's told in that person's life. And so the opposite of it, which is actually, it's a paradox, because when you can do the opposite of push, 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 and instead love where you're at, you actually go faster because you're more efficient, because you're more present, and you actually enjoy the moment. You enjoy the education. You enjoy the process. And that's one of the secrets. It's one of the codes of having a successful business, but also more than that, it's one of the codes of having a successful life. Is, are you enjoying the process? And so the code is as simple as this: love where you're at. If you joined us today and you look at Moodle and you go, "Oh my God, there's so much stuff," then love where you're at. Love where you're right at the beginning. Frame it in a way that's useful for you. There's so much to learn and you've got so long to go, and good on you for making the decision to say yes to you. And if you're 6 months in and you're working on getting your next couple of paying clients or something like that, then love where you're at. One of the most counterproductive things we can do is get frustrated with where we are and look at the present situation that we've got and say, "Oh, I just wish I had a different challenge. I wish I was somewhere else." That wishing, what it does is it prevents us from being present and actually being able to solve the challenge that's ahead of us. So love where you're at, wherever you are. That's one of the most successful mindset strategies